Right, so in this session, we're talking about devices and mobility, which is something that, I don't know, do we know much about it? Presumably we do, because we do a lot of this work.
I mean, I can take that. I mean, yeah, obviously, if we're talking devices and mobility, the big news at the minute is Microsoft and EMS. The reason it's a great conversation right now, if you roll back sort of 24, 36 months, I think it's fair to say that it wasn't a great story if you look at 365 or Microsoft's cloud services as a whole. If you went out and looked at some of the other third-party MDM tools, they were much more enterprise grade, they had more features, and ultimately, 3 years ago, they were the correct path for customers who wanted to implement some sort of mobile strategy. The world has changed, as have Microsoft, in terms of, they truly are a services company, and they realise that one of the biggest areas that they needed to address, and currently now do, is that whole, facilitating, bring your own, choose your own, whatever CY, BY term you want to use. You can now very easily have a single, consistent, Microsoft-centric platform that gives you those tight endpoint client controls.
And gives you the flexibility of being a consumer of your own data.
Yeah.
So no longer you have to carry two devices. You can have one device that does your personal work, your enterprise work, and segregate and look after your own data.
And here's a good plug for the new 950 XL that's got 2 SIMs as well, so you can even have a phone with 2 phone numbers.
I need me one of them.
I think we all do. I'll have one. So I mean, Microsoft's mantra is very much kind of cloud first, mobile first. I think it'd be rude of us not to touch on apps. So, I mean, just an insight into what the app strategy could be in an organisation that's adopting some of these cloud tools.
Again, with the likes of EMS, traditionally, app dev was seen to be a very expensive niche capability. You were kind of developing a bespoke or specific app for a specific platform. Actually, what you get now, if you look at the broader kind of Azure capabilities that you can put in alongside 365, things like remote hosting, all of those sorts of things, you effectively break down the barriers. You can connect legacy business applications through to the cloud and allow individuals to consume them as apps, simply and more importantly, more cost effectively.
Okay. So would this be an untrue sweeping statement that you could say basically we can take an organisation on a journey where we can expose key corporate data to the right groups of people on whatever device they want it to be at, or on, more the point? Is that largely true? Is that achievable with the tool set?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It just comes down to, again, application modernisation is another stream, it's another element of that whole modern workplace conversation. Quite often businesses are very concerned that there is a huge cost and investment in on-premise legacy applications, and traditional constraints no longer apply. There are new ways and means that we can use to connect and actually surface and present that information, not just to consume it in the way that they do now, but also, to empower the business to actually use that data in better, more intelligent ways.
So there's new features and functionality that comes with the evolving cloud service that kind of does away with some legacy applications. So as you get Power BI, Delve, the new Office Graph API, it gives you a different way of working and modernisation that makes things easier than it used to be.
Yeah. So I mean, I've found in my experience with customers, a lot of the questions they start asking at the beginning of the project are, how can we get this really old-fashioned thing to work in this new world? And the challenge seems to be to go, well, hang on a second, do you really want to do that? There's a new way of doing that. You might have an Excel spreadsheet today that has all this fantastic corporate data on it, but why? Why do that when there are other ways of doing it? And presumably that's part of what we do when we do our assessments and walk people through.
The first sort of expectation that you need to address is lift and shift, because the understanding or the expectation with businesses is we've got to lift and shift as is, and it's actually no. Let's step back a bit. Let's look at what's the business problem, what's the process, what is the reason that this application or this capability exists now. Now can we actually provide provision or reinvent the way that you actually stand up that service?
Fantastic. Well, thank you, gentlemen. That was all very informative. So there you have it. Modern workplace, modern ways of working, mobility, all these funky things you can do with Office 365. So the platform's fit for purpose. We're fit for purpose, aren't we, guys?
Absolutely.
So get in touch and we'll see what we can do to help you on your journey.